What's up, people? It's me. It's me, Zeus. This is the first tutorial series. Like, this is the first part of my tutorial series for Blender. It's gonna be for Blender Octane. Basically, I'm gonna jump right into it and show you how to use, like, no, how to download Blender Octane. So what you're gonna do is you wanna go over and you wanna open your browser. When you have your browser open, you're basically going to go to a page called Otoy. It's Otoy. You go here. You register an account. You sign in. You make an account. Basically, I'm going to use my Google. I'm going to log in. Boom. I'm logged in. What we're going to do now is I'm going to go back to the Otoy page, and you see I'm logged in. Basically, what you're going to do now is you're going to go to shop, not to downloads. You're going to go click on shop. Go to try. And it says right here, it says Prime free tier and demo. You're gonna click on Prime free tier if it's not selected, and you're gonna click on try now. It's gonna greet you with this page where you have the I think 4 builds that are free. You can use Octane in. So basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go download Octane render for Blender. So you're gonna click Windows right here. You're gonna download it. I already have it downloaded, so I don't need it. This here, Octane Server Prime, same thing. You download it, execute it. It's gonna lead you through the setup. It's gonna show you how to install it, and yeah, boom. Now you have both of those programs installed. But now the thing is, you really want to log in to the account of your Otoy. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open Octane Server Prime, the server that you've installed on your computer, and it's gonna be in your little drop down window at the bottom. It's gonna be this little gear. You're gonna right click it and click on activation. You wanna wait until it pops up. Boom, there you go. It says Octane is not activated. You know, you're gonna be like, why, bro? I just logged in, but this is a program. It doesn't know you logged in. So you're basically gonna click on activate, and you're gonna log in with the credentials you put on the page. So you may be confused. If you log in with Google, it's just not gonna ask you anything. It's just not gonna be like, yeah, boom, you're logged in with Google now. It's gonna register that email from your Google account. It's still gonna have you make a username and a password. So basically, username. I put my username in here, and no, wrong one. Boom, you put that, put your password, then you sign in, and it's gonna tell you that is okay. Sometimes it says could not find the required license. You're gonna retry. If it doesn't work when you retry, you're gonna click on sign out and start again. You do it again. So you basically got to do this a couple of times. It's gonna log in. You just have to give it time, you know. I'll be back when it's done. Okay, I'll be back when it's done. So here we go. I'm back. It basically, I had to use a different account, but it's fine now. You see, I unlocked the licenses, but yeah. So this is not gonna be. This is not gonna happen in your case. But yeah. So basically, I just used a different account. You'll be able to just log in because nobody has ever used that account on another PC. Because if you use it on another PC, it's shitty. You're gonna see. You're gonna just log in. Boom, you're done. It's gonna say this activation status. It's gonna say Octane is activated using your auto account. And what you do is just close. It's gonna remain down here basically, but when you click activation, it's just gonna say that it's activated. So that's fine. Never exit it when you're running Blender Octane, because that's basically gonna stop Blender Octane. But now we can start the Blender Octane edition. Let's go. Let's start it up. Takes a while sometimes. There we are. So what we're gonna do is you can just click on general. I usually click on general, or I just click on the side. So when you start Blender Octane for the first time, you're gonna be greeted with this. And yeah, first up we're gonna go over on how to activate Blender Octane in this Blender edition. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on Edit and go down to Preferences. When it opens this window, you're gonna click here and search up Octane. So if this is not ticked, if this box is not ticked, if the box from Octane Render Engine version blah blah blah, if you're watching it in the future, this is my version right now. Yeah, tick this box. So it's gonna be activated. Okay, when you tick the box, you click on this burger logo down here, and you're gonna click on Save Preferences. It's important because when you restart your Blender, for the next time, it's not gonna be saved. So basically, just do that. Boom, you're set. Let's go over on how to use Blender Octane. So on the side right here, you have all these options. You have these are called render properties. In here, you're going to see which render engine you're using, how many samples you're rendering, and how many samples your viewport is rendering. But we're going to click on render engine, and it says EV, but we don't want EV. We want Octane. So you click on it, select Octane. Boom. A hell of a lot is going to change, but don't worry, it's going to be simple because most of these settings you're not going to use anyway. So what you're going to do is, it says Octane kernel right here, max samples 500. You're just going to leave it at 500 for the first render or whatever, and max preview samples. This really depends on how fast your computer is. Right now, I'm getting a new computer this week, someday. I don't know when, but it's going to come this week. But right now, I'm running an Intel Core i5 6500K and a 1070 GTX from NVIDIA. And 100 preview samples in the viewport, it's fine. Leave it like that. Okay. Next up, we have this right here. One more quick note. The things I don't go over in this tutorial. So sorry for that cut right there. That was kind of sudden, but I just got interrupted. But let's continue on. So I stopped. The things I don't go over in this tutorial, like on the side right here. The things I don't go over, you're not going to be using. Like, I don't use them. Like, when I don't go over them, when I don't explain them, I don't use them. And I can still create beautiful renders. So it really doesn't matter. The things I don't go over, doesn't matter. The things I don't go over, sorry. So, basically, 500, 100. Okay, next one. Output properties. This is what your final render is going to be. This is what your final render is all about. Basically, dimensions. You can imagine what this is. The resolution. It's going to be set to the default resolution of a screen. I think it's like HD screen. HD resolution. But you can change this to whatever you want. Usually when I make my renders, I go for 1500 pixels. In the older days, I went for like 2000 or 3000. That's just overkill. If you just want to put it on Instagram or something, that's really overkill because Instagram is going to downscale it anyways, and it's going to compress it, and it's not going to have that extra detail you're trying to put in it. It's just going to increase your render time. So just put it to 1500 pixels. That's how I render. You can put it to 1000. It doesn't matter. It's your render. So next one. View layer properties. Basically, I don't know what this is. I do know what this is, but I don't use it. I'm not in this window. I'm never in this window. So let's skip this and go over to the scene properties. This right here, same thing. Basically, don't use it. But the world properties, the next one up. This one is kind of important. So right here, you have how the environment in your scene is gonna look. So let's just switch over to the rendering mode. How you do that is basically up here. You see these circles right here. This right here, the filled out one, it's the solid viewport. It's the viewport. That's how you view stuff. Right here. And right here, this is the render. It's viewport shading. So let's click on it. And this is basically it's gonna make your, it's gonna show you the render, how the render is gonna look. And I'll just gotta check something real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I just looked at the recording and I just checked that nothing was lagging because I saw my cursor lagging around. But that's okay. But my voice is not lagging. The other things, they're not laggy. So yeah. So we stopped at the world properties. These are for how I'm a little bit exhausted. I just ran like up the stairs, you know. This is how your world is gonna look like. You see here, this is the sun, and we have Octane environment. We have daylight environment selected right now. And what we can do is we can make the sun bigger, as you can see. Now it's the sun is ginormous now, and we can make it smaller, sun size. Let's make it smaller. Boom. There you go. This is the environment right here. Sky color, you can change this to whatever you want, like what fits the mood of your scene or something. Yeah. And make it green, make it blue. So you can make some cool stuff with this. But yeah, we basically just have it like this. So yeah, let's hop back into our viewport shading. And no, not our viewport shading. It's it's viewport shading. I'm stupid. Yeah, you can see right there. It says solid, and right here it says rendered. Yeah. So now we're back here. We're gonna continue explaining. This is object properties. This is going to show you the properties for every object you have selected right now. So basically, right now we have the cube selected. So when we, for example, move the cube, we select this. We move the cube, and it's going to change the y-axis because green, as you can see, it's the y-axis. Z is the up axis, and X is this axis. They're colored, just the z-axis not colored, but you can see. So basically, you can change these. You can also drag here. You can drag there. You can drag there, but we want this to be 0. Next up is rotation right here. What we're going to do is we're going to click on this, and you can basically rotate your object, and it's going to show up here. Let's rotate 90 degrees. Boom. We rotated 90 degrees. Not hard. This is basically the object properties. Here, right here, this is the scale. This is also important. If you want to scale your object right here like this, or on this one like that, or like up, you can make a cube, a bigger cube. There's easier ways for that. We're going to get into that in, I think, the next tutorial. Yeah. So right here we have the modifier properties. This is, for example, you have to select the object to add modifiers to the object. For example, beveling the edges, like making the edges smooth, it's done with a modifier. So we click on here, and you're gonna search for it. It's gonna generate, yeah, there it is, bevel. We're gonna click on bevel, and you see it's gonna bevel the edges. It made just one cut, like made it smooth. It's not smooth yet, but you can make it smooth when you go to segments and you turn segments up. Just basically drag it up, boom. It makes it smooth. It makes the edges. It gives it more vertices. It looks like it, but it doesn't actually give it vertices. That's a cool thing of a modifier. So yeah, you can make this, I think right here, offset. Yeah, you can make it harder. You can literally turn this into a circle, into a sphere. Yeah, you can see. You can like slightly bevel it. It's got a soft look on the render or something. Yeah. So this is basically the modifier properties. If you apply something, for example, if you apply it, it's going to apply it to the object, so you can't revert it. Now you can press Ctrl Z and it's going to come back, but applying it makes this permanent. So if you do something, or like close out of it and start it again and open this project up, it's going to be applied. You can't change anything. And I think, yeah, it also changed the UVs now. You see? It's not that one perfect square anymore. Yeah, you see. So we're gonna revert back to the one where we had, boom, we had the bevel not applied. So let's remove the bevel. It's gone. Let's add another modifier. Let's play around. Let's make this maybe. Let's get a circle. Let's get a circle. You press. If you want to get an object, you can also click on up here, objects, and you can click on where is it? Oh no, sorry. It's on add. Sorry, object is just for modifying an object. Add. You click on mesh, like it hover over it, and then you have all these. These are called primitive objects in Blender. All the objects that have been there from the start. There's no plugin. These have been there forever. So click on torus, and it makes a torus. Right. Yeah, it makes a torus. Wow. But now we can scale this torus, maybe. Scale it up. I just hit S and dragged with my mouse button to scale it. But I'm not going to get into that too much. We're going to do that next episode. Now we're going to click here on the object we're going to use. And we're going to click on this, on the modifier tab, properties, add modifier. And we're going to get screw. Sorry, wrong modifier. We're going to get simple deform. So this is basically gonna bend. Here it says twist, bend, taper, stretch. You see, it has some cool effects. Like let's turn up the factor. You see, it's stretching it. It's really cool. If you want to make like a wobbly effect, you can animate this. You could animate it, but I'm not gonna get into that. You're not gonna learn this in this tutorial series. So, yeah, taper. It's gonna do whatever this is. Twist. I really like twist because you can get some really cool infinite loop stuff. Like if you turn this angle to 360 maybe, boom, like this. It looks so cool. And then you can you could stretch it. But I'm not gonna get into that next episode. It's gonna be next episode. So yeah, this is how the modifier properties work. It's basically modifying your objects. So, next up is the particle properties. If you want to add hair to your object, or if you want to scatter our objects on something, but this is going to be another tutorial. Just the particle properties are going to be an entire tutorial. So, next up is physics. This is for if you want to do some cool physics, like satisfying renders, like water or something, but I usually don't animate, so I really don't need physics because I don't make something. I only make static renders, so I don't need moving things, so I don't need physics. So I don't use this. Sorry. This next is object constraint properties. Also, I don't use them. Data object properties. This is for maybe applying vertex groups if you have particle systems, but this is also for another tutorial. Right down here, it's textures. Textures, also another tutorial. This down here, it's brushes. It helps you texture stuff. It helps you make stuff look cool with like displacement, but this is also going to be in the texturing tutorial, so yeah. Now, we have learned everything that is on this side. No, in this interface right here. Now we're gonna get into this. This right here is basically the objects that are within your scene. So, basically, if you create another object, you go to add mesh, maybe a plane, and it's gonna create a plane in your scene. Maybe scale it. Sorry, scale it. Select the plane, scale the plane, and yeah, you see now. There's the plane in your scene. This is the light. It's up here, and this is the camera. I would not recommend deleting the camera because it's a crucial part. It's gonna be needed if you want to render, because everything is gonna be rendered through the camera, through what the camera sees. So don't delete it. some people delete and add it back in afterwards, but I just leave it there. So just leave the camera alone. It didn't do anything. Okay, so now you know what this does. It's really simple, plain, boom, adds objects, tells you what is within your scene. Really simple. Yeah. So this up here, we talked about this. This is how you view the viewport, like what the viewport is displaying. This is render, this is solid, and this right here is wireframe. So basically, if you go into edit mode on this and select stuff on this, it would select through it. So if I select right here, you see it selects all the way around. If I just do it right here, it just selects what the viewport sees. Like, it just selects what I can see. This is going to be important when you want to do like simple modeling, but right now we don't use it. This right here, it's show overlays. This basically shows, like, when you click on it, it removes the grid and everything, like the axes, the cameras, everything that's like there to like guide you. It's gonna remove. And this right here is show gizmo, and this is basically just how you see like the moving thing, the XYZ thing, where you click on and drag and move. It's gonna hide that. So if you want to have like a clean render to like see what you're doing, you're just gonna click these two and it's gonna display how it would be in the final render. Okay, good. These right here, basically this is move. This is the move tool. Select the object, click on here. It's gonna move it. This right here is rotate, rotating. This right here, it's scaling. I've already used this. Scaling an object. Right here. This is transform. It's just like, if you wanna make it quick, it's just every object, every tool right here crammed into one. I can't work with this. Like, this is just complicated. It's scaling, it's moving, it's turning, everything in one. Yeah, just use these. Keep it simple. Okay. So, yeah, this will wrap it up for the first tutorial of the Blender series. This is the first tutorial for the UI navigation and simple things you will need in your renders. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.